My homily for the fifth Sunday in Lent, 3rd of April 2022. If there is one of you who has not sinned, let him be the first to throw a stone at her. It's one of the most memorable and telling phrases in the Bible. It speaks directly to each one of us. Let the one who is without sin cast the first stone. We're all sinners, and keeping that in mind is the key to a balanced approach to life and faith. We're sometimes accused in the church of putting too much emphasis on sin, but that's just recognising the reality of our world and our lives. We're addicted to sin, and like any addiction, we can't move on until we admit we have a problem. In our gospel today, the scribes and Pharisees were looking for something to use against Jesus. Looking for fault is never a good basis for action. We should always look for the positive, and if we find the negative too, then we're in a better position to make a balanced judgment. The woman caught in adultery had most likely been set up for the purpose of discrediting Jesus. She was merely a pawn in their game. Some have identified her with Mary Magdalene. There is no evidence of that, but it makes a good story and is not without some credibility. We can imagine how fearful the woman was, and note that there is no sign of the man involved. They quoted the law of Moses. Jesus said no to stoning, then he was going against Moses and the law. If he said yes, then he was undermining fatally his teaching on love and mercy. They push him for an answer, but he simply writes on the ground, who knows what. Maybe it's giving him time to think and pray. But then he gives his answer and turns the tables on them, just as he did when he was asked the question about paying taxes to Caesar. One thing they do have, thankfully, is a sense of sin. They know that they themselves are sinners, and so they can't stone her. If they stone her, they're condemning themselves as liars. A sense of sin is key, as I said, to a balanced approach to life and faith. It makes us humble, non-judgmental, and honest. And it could stop us from doing something with terrible consequences. Let the one who is without sin cast the first stone.